Of course, we own our own molds. You know, we don't buy an off-the-shelf frame set and essentially put our name on it. This happens to be one of the Z molds. This is the Z bike. We first started out, our first carbon bicycle was the F series, so the F bike. And I didn't pull that bike down, but
Just put it somewhere.
right up there. But anyway, it's a little straighter top tube, a little longer top tube as far as the geometry goes. So, you know, it's our traditional race geometry.
The Z has a longer top tube.
It's actually shorter. Actually shorter. It has a longer wheelbase, but a shorter top tube.
Aha.
The fork is raked out a little bit more to give you a little longer wheelbase. But
On the Z.
yes, but Jeff, the Z has, if you look at a similar size, like compare 256s, for example, you're looking at maybe a half an inch difference in the two models, okay, than an F than a Z. So essentially, the Z bike, which is our newest bike outside of the AR, has a taller head tube. And don't let the taller head tube deceive you, because what happens here is what we've done different than you compare to like a Giant OCR or maybe even a Specialized Roubaix. This area up in here is built up to where it's a lot stiffer, so you can get less flex. So what that translates into is, I'd say 40% of the guys on the team ride the Z bike. Cool. And the other 60 will ride the F bike or maybe the AR bike in certain strategic stages. But
So most of the team wouldn't ride the AR in the California tour?
we were running a lot of F bikes, so we were running some ARs, kind of a mix. I guess before the AR came out, we shipped the ARs right before the tour last year. We shipped them to Spain, and you know, essentially 8 guys got on the bike and they all rode it through the tour. I'm not sure the percentage now, but prior to shipping the AR bikes, team bikes to the team, we were about, I think, about 40% here and 60 on the F. Both great bikes. This has a little more upright riding position style, but you know, it's a great all. It's one of my favorite all-around bikes. The F bike kind of got the company started as far as that's our traditional race geometry. You know, I like the longer top tubes. You know, I'm a little taller. I'm pretty well proportioned, so I can ride an F bike real well. Someone maybe has a shorter torso, longer legs, you know, or just likes the comfort of being a little more upright. The Z bike's the perfect bike, and of course that geometry translates down into the ZW bikes for women. We essentially have you know, full women's line of bikes, and from aluminum at $800 to $1,100, then we jump up to aluminum with carbon at $1,600, then on up into the carbon bikes. So,
Can I ask you something?
absolutely.
Let me go back to it. I'm going to give these guys, if they get a question like a customer that's in here looking at, I got a female looking at a ZW40, 800, and they're like, what's the difference between this bike and a Cannondale, ladies Cannondale?
Right.
Like the price, I mean, give them something, give them a good sales feature that's going to differentiate us from anybody else that, you know, that way it's like, you know,
Yeah.
it may be cheaper, but it's not the same bike.
Well, you know, personally, I'm not familiar with how Cannondale manufactures their sub $1,000 bicycles, but you know, a lot of companies will buy an off-the-shelf frame. I think they probably have their own molds like we do. We own our own molds as far as women's. What does that mean? Well, we put a lot of design. First of all, the biggest comparison would be the tube sets. Okay, they most likely could be using a straight gauge tube set in their frames. We aren't. We're using our, even at that.
Yeah, they're fully manipulated.
Even that ZW40 over there, that lavender color bicycle.
Yeah, the $800 bike.
The tube sets are all butted here, and they thin out, and then they re-butt again here. So again, we're using a custom tube set, even our $800 bicycle. And that's probably, to me, that would be number one, and the most paramount thing. Again, there's certain customers you can get real technical with. Secondly, I think really, when it comes down to comparing us to Cannondale, just go out and ride our bikes. I think when you get someone on our bicycles, it's just a whole new experience. I personally have.
Oh, dude, happens every day.
Oh,
Whether it's the feeling of getting
Sorry.
I'm just gonna pull that bike out if that's that women's carbon.
well, giving a good example is
Can't take you guys anywhere.
seriously. Just that segues into.
All right, we're getting new carpet. Lisa doesn't have my new carpet on there yet.